You'd be lying to yourself about when this started. You think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, when things got busier, when the company scaled, when you stopped having time. But that's not when it started. It started the day your title changed and your body didn't. You didn't get out of shape when business got busy. You got out of shape when you decided your body no longer mattered. This is Iron Suit, where strength. This is Iron Suit, not Iron Suit, where strength wears the crown. I'm your host, Marwan Killu. You're running a different company now, making different decisions, sitting in different rooms, but you're doing it in the same body you had when you were grinding 18 hours a day in a co-working space. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you know this doesn't add up. You can feel it when you walk into a room, when someone sees you for the first time and there's that split-second recalibration. They expect something else, someone else. Not worse, just sharper. You felt it. You wonder if they notice, if they're just too polite to say anything. Here's what no one tells you about success. It doesn't just change your calendar. It changes your physical requirements. The body that got you here is not the body that keeps you here. And the work that built your business will not build the body that matches it. You already know how to work hard. That's not your problem. Your problem is you're applying founder phase intensity to a body that's operating in a completely different environment now. Different stress, different stakes, different recovery demands. You're still treating your body like it's 2017, but your nervous system is living in 2026. Let me show you where this breaks down. You used to be able to push through anything. Sleep for hours, skip meals, drink coffee until your hands shook, and your body would just comply. That's not discipline. That was youth and adrenaline and a stress load you could still metabolize. Now you push the same way and your body doesn't respond. It resists. Every room reads signals. Your resume speaks, but your body whispers something else. You think you lost your edge. You didn't. You lost the context that made brute force viable. The invisible tax of decision making at your level is not something you can out discipline. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because your brain is running a different operating system now. Every decision you make carries more weight, more variables, more downstream consequences. That's not the same as sending emails. And your body knows it, even when you don't. You've started avoiding the mirror in hotel bathrooms. You keep waiting for things to calm down, for the quarter to end, for the launch to finish, for the deal to close. Then you'll get back to it. But here's the trap. Your business doesn't calm down. It compounds. And every month you wait, the gap widens. Not between where you are and where you want to be, between who you are and what you look like. This is the part you don't say out loud. You look at other men in your position, men running companies your size, men closing deals at your level, and you notice their bodies. You notice how they carry themselves, how they show up, how they look like they belong in the rooms they're in, and you feel the dissonance, not envy, something quieter. A question you don't want to ask. If I'm operating at this level, why don't I look like it? You spend years building credibility, reputation, authority. But your body is a different signal, and signals matter. Not because people are shallow, because perception is part of performance. When you walk into a negotiation, a pitch, a partnership conversation, your presence is data. People are reading you before you speak. And what they see either reinforces what you've been saying or contradicts it. Every room you walk into is a silent vote. If your body contradicts your authority, people don't consciously judge you. But subconsciously, they start wondering if the edge that built your success is still there. You don't need to look like an athlete, but you need to look like someone who has their life under control. And right now, your body is telling a different story. Here's where effort stops working. You think the problem is volume, more workouts, more discipline, more commitment. So you try to force it. You block time. You set alarms. You tell yourself this time is different. And it works for 2 years. Then a crisis hits. A trip comes up. A deadline moves. And the whole thing collapses. Not because you're weak, because you're trying to solve a system problem with willpower. Willpower is a tool. It is not a foundation. And the moment your environment destabilizes, willpower evaporates. You've wondered if this is just what getting older looks like, if everyone else is just lying about it. You don't need more discipline. You need a structure that doesn't rely on it. The men who stay in shape at your level aren't more disciplined than you. They're not waking up at 4 a.m. with more willpower. They've designed a system that works when they're stressed, not just when they're motivated. They've removed the decision. They've eliminated the negotiation. Their body doesn't compete with their business. It supports it. You keep treating fitness like a side project, something you'll get to when you have bandwidth. But your body isn't a side project. It's a platform everything else runs on. Most people treat their body like maintenance, but leaders understand something different. Performance sits above maintenance, and physiology sits above performance. Your body isn't maintenance, it's infrastructure. And the longer you treat it like optional maintenance, the more expensive the repair becomes. This is what identity-like feels like. You've upgraded your business, your income, your responsibilities, your influence, but your body is still running the old version. And every day that gap exists, it costs you something. Not in revenue, in signal, in presence, in how you feel when you look in the mirror, in whether you believe you belong where you are. You've built companies, you've scaled teams, you've solved problems other people can't even see. You know how to execute when the stakes are high. But you've been treating your body like it's low stakes, like it doesn't matter as much as the board meetings, the product launch, the fundraise. And maybe that was true before, but it's not true now. The body you're walking around in right now is making a statement, not to other people, to you. Every time you see yourself, every time you feel slower, heavier, older than you should, you're reinforcing a belief that you don't have control, that you're slipping, that the thing you used to be able to manage isn't manageable anymore. That's not true. But the evidence is mounting. You're starting to wonder if the people who work for you can see it too. Here's a shift. You don't need a new program. You need a new frame. You need to stop treating your body like something you work on when you have time and start treating it like an asset that it is. Not because it's virtuous, because it's strategic. Because a version of you that shows up in 12 months either reinforces your position or undermines it. And the outcome is being written right now. You can keep waiting for the right time, for things to slow down, for the pressure to ease. But the pressure doesn't ease. It changes shape. And the body that can handle what's coming isn't the one that you have today. The men you're competing with, not in fitness, in business, they've already figured this out. They're not stronger than you. They're not smarter. They just stopped pretending their body was separate from their performance. And they build accordingly. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a design problem. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your body is supposed to match your title. Not because of vanity, because of congruence. Because when what you've built and how you look finally align, you stop questioning whether you belong. You just show up and everyone else adjusts. The real discomfort isn't the mirror. It's a quiet suspicion that the man who built the company wouldn't recognize the man running it. The question isn't whether you're capable. You've already proved that. The question is whether you're willing to treat this like it matters. Because it does. And you already know it. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, make sure you share it with another leader. Because as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Or I should say, as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. Make sure you leave me a positive review on iTunes if you like this episode. Or if you didn't like it, you can also leave me a bad review. Tell me that my podcast sucks and I am an asshole. Follow me on my socials. I am on Facebook under Marwan Killu, LinkedIn Marwan Killu Fitness. You can even watch this on YouTube under Marwan Killu. And last but not least, make sure you subscribe to the show so you get notifications when a new episode goes live. Until next time, have a great day. Talk to you all soon.